Hey guys, what's happening? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and I'm here with
Dylan.
And welcome to F.A.Q. number 2. Dose. I want to thank everybody for participating in the first, our first ever What the F.A.Q. It was a great success.
Quacktastic.
It's quacktastic. So really appreciate you guys participating, and we had a decent amount of questions coming in for
week number 2.
Week number 2. What the heck, too? So, gonna jump right in. First off, let's start out with Mr. Terry Starks.
All right.
I think it's a Mr., right? Terry could
I think so.
Terry could be either one. So, my question is, where do you think the industry is going for shops like y'all's, and what can they do to help you grow? I'm not sure what that means. Is everything going internet sales, or is there a place I can go and smell the wood, feel the guitar in my hands?
The industry could just be better.
So,
in terms of help us grow, no. But
yeah. Well, I think the industry a lot is going towards the internet. There are a tremendous amount of internet sales, obviously with companies like, Amazon, and then, Sweetwater's a huge company, one location, and they're like the top dog of stores.
For convenience, yeah.
But I think it also becomes a customer service issue. Sweetwater's customer service is really great, and that's what we kind of try to do too, is just provide good customer service. So, are the mom and pop stores going by the wayside? I think we're starting to see a little bit of a resurgence with some of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're definitely coming back because people want that one-on-one connection again.
Yeah.
Not just feeling digital all the time.
Yeah, I think it's kind of coming back around. I mean, it's like building a relationship. If you go to a store often enough, you meet the guys, you get to hang out. Sometimes you get discounts. Sometimes you just, you see, you get good deals with gear because it's like, hey, some used gear came in and you just happen to be there and you saw it and boom, boom, boom. So
we even have a lot of fun with the regulars when, new stuff comes in. Usually they get to see it before anybody else does.
Yeah.
Usually that's always a lot of fun.
And just being able to try out new gear. So, yes, I think so I guess what I'm saying is that there's a fairly large segment that's just going to be okay with buying stuff online. And I think there's a bunch of dudes that are just going to be like, no, you know what? I got to hear the amplifier. I got to play the pedal. I got to touch the guitar. I got to really feel, I got to know what I'm buying. And they do it old school.
Half of the reason people come here is to try stuff in the context of their own rig. Because, really, until you plug this stuff in, you really don't know what you're going to get exactly until you get it in your own rig.
Yep. Guys bring their pedal boards. We've had guys that roll in
full stacks.
Full stack, yeah. Will, he comes in, brings a full stack, and he'll sit around and try a bunch of pedals. And
Soldano goodness.
Yeah, I think sounds great. But, so I guess my answer is yeah, we're seeing a lot more internet sales. Yes. We also sell online, too, so you could always contact us, and we'll certainly ship it out.
But if you want more of the old school feel, that's kind of what you come to a shop like this for.
Yeah, you come in and talk to the guys. There's a lot of small mom and pops around town and around the country that you can go to that are friendly folks, and they do this because they like it, and they're like us. They like, they just like gear. They like talking about gear.
Seeing what people are doing with the gear.
Yeah, so I think you're going to see a resurgence. Because we have a lot of younger guys that are coming in. They come in to hang out too. Some, So I don't think it's dying, but I think you have to modify. In 2018, there's definitely it's a different industry. It's not like it used to be, and you just have to make the modifications, and you have to have some bit of an online presence. You have to have some of that. You have to have some marketing. But
roll with the punches,
yeah, you got to roll with the punches, and you got to also have some good in-house customer service, and that's why people are going to come back.
Yeah, because here, we're willing to sit down with guys for several hours to kind of make sure they get the right, either the right pedal or the right guitar or whatever it takes to kind of get their sound. And you just can't really do that if you're shopping online. You can't physically do it. You literally can't.
No, you can listen to videos all day. And so that's what I think. I guess I hope that was a good answer. It wasn't a answer. So I hope that it
wasn't a non-answer.
It wasn't a non-answer. Yeah, well, I think that was pretty good. We'll see. I'll see when I play the video back and be like, it's nonsense. Okay, so moving on. Brian Savage. I got a PRS Custom 24 over 2 years ago, and now I can't find anything to measure up feel-wise. So please give me an idea to break my lack of gas for under $700. I play in a cover band that does country to Sabbath.
All right.
Here, you start out with that one.
Kind of my initial thought was definitely going with some of the Reverends, like the Sensei Junior with the little P90, kind of straight ahead rock and roll guitar. And that one's right around the 750 mark. I'm sure on the used side, it'd be closer to that 700 mark you're talking about. Or even some of their more standard models like the Flat Rock or any of the more, versatile or more interesting pickup combinations are always a cool one, especially if you're doing country to Sabbath. I mean, something with like an interesting pickup combo, like the double agent or something like that would be a really cool one to check out.
I kind of agree. The Reverends cover a lot of ground, depending on the model. And if you look at it on the used market, you're definitely going to hit within that price point.
But you're not far off even new. I mean,
you're not too far off.
Yeah, they're still pretty close to that.
And then another thing to consider, I would look at is, if you're got a feel for real PRS, and you don't want to go play that at the Choke and Puke down the street, on a Tuesday night live show.
Dive bar special.
Yeah, I would maybe just look at getting an SE edition. That way, you're staying within your price point.
You already like it,
and you already know you already know the feel of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I would go.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, used market's definitely always good, but some of the new stuff today is, not far from that price point. So, I mean, definitely a few options out there for that.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
So I think that's our answer. That's our answer.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. All right, Big John says, hi, Ike and Ike's sidekick. His name is Dylan.
Yeah, Doom
Mr.
Dingus.
Dylan.
Mr. Doom
Doom Dingus, Mr. Dylan.
Yeah, the Church of Doom.
WDLYN. Welcome to Dylan Radio. So, Big John asks, on your online store, do you ship used equipment or just new stuff? We ship
All stuff.
all stuff. So new and used. Usually, for the most part, all our new stuff is shipping included. But on our used gear, there's usually shipping included or not included. So you'll have to pay for shipping, and it's just whatever our shipping cost. And a lot of times we actually absorb a little bit of that shipping cost.
Try to meet people halfway on there.
Yeah, we're not trying to,
Yeah, we're not
trying
going to do like the whole
overinflate.
reverb.
Yeah.
The reverb bait and switch thing where
Yeah.
they factor all this extra money into shipping that's not actually there. Yeah, we don't do that. So.
We're not adding extra, oh wow, $15 is to send a 13-ounce pedal or something like that. We try to make it reasonable. Now, granted, we are in Colorado, so if we're shipping to Bangor, Maine, it costs a little bit extra. But we kind of take that in consideration. And if we, cover a little bit of that cost, we do. We just try to make it.
I think if anything, we meet
everybody.
people kind of halfway on some of that, at least just to negate some of the cost on it, but not eat the whole sum.
Right. And the thing, another reason that we add shipping on our website is we have a lot of folks locally that shop our used section. So they're constantly seeing what we got in. We constantly have a change on pedals and different gear. And so we want to make sure that if anybody that's locally shopping here in Denver or the surrounding areas, they know if we're selling this pedal for $55, they come in and it's $55. It's not like we're inflating the cost of things in-house because we're trying to compensate for shipping. So it's not like, hey, we're going to charge $65 because we need to ship it to Bangor.
Right. Just on the offset chance we had to. Yeah, we don't really do these what-if things. It's more like you get it at the price that it is in-house and you save the shipping.
Right. And we price our stuff. We price our stuff right. We get a lot of people that come in, they're like, wow, this is like normal pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, we try our best to at least hit it and be up to date with all that. At least as close as we can.
Yeah. So there you go, Big John.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for anything particular here from Flipside Music, feel free to just log on and order something. Thanks, Big John. We appreciate the question, man.
Yeah.
All right, Beltran Del Campo. What's the craziest, jerry-riggest, most extreme mod you've ever done on a guitar?
Yeah, my go-to on this one was actually suggested from Ike, and he told me to take some like business cards or even what are those? Just like a business card or something, and cut it up basically to make shims to kind of put underneath either the nut or even if you've got like a fender bolt-on neck style, you put it under there just to kind of create shims. Those are probably the most I've ever done. The rest of the time I try my best not to do jerry riggiums.
Pretty
I don't know. Yeah.
pretty conservative on your
my jerry rigging.
jerry rigging of things.
It's hard to make that a
yeah, that's kind
flowing
of a
word. Yeah.
So we should try not to. I think.
Yeah, I guess. Give up on that. I'll just stop.
For me, I'm the same kind of way. I don't really do too much over-the-top crazy stuff, but I do like to build cigar box guitars, 3 and 4 string guitars, and those can get a little bit creative on parts and pieces that I've used on that stuff. Like I built one for a buddy of mine who's a chef, and so I went to the Goodwill store and I bought a barbecue fork, and I cut the top off, and I basically inlaid it in the headstock and then put the tuners through it. I found an old steak knife and I used that as my bridge. I put slots and grooves and carved it and made that into the bridge for. Hey, what's up, man? You want to say hello? You want to say hello to our YouTube guys?
Sure.
You're a part of it now.
Yeah, you're in it now, man. Hey guys, this is Nick. Nick is the owner of a studio right on the other side of that wall.
This Takamine recorded very well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Working with the Vatican Vamps here. So.
Sweet. Check those guys out, Vatican Vamps. Also, check out Consonance Recording here in Denver. See? Free plugs, man.
There you go.
All right, so did we answer that question or not? Oh, so the craziest one, like I said, I used some crazy parts with some cigar box guitars that I've built. And that's where it can get really interesting with just different parts and pieces and stuff like that. But on regular guitars, I don't think I've done anything too...
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
too crazy.
I've seen people do some crazy stuff before. Like I had one guy came in here for whatever reason he needed a few caps on like his tone pots. Didn't have the right value, so then he just wired 2 of them that were half the value he needed, and he wired them together.
Huh.
Looked weird, but it seemed to do it. So I mean, that's probably the weirdest one I've ever seen.
We got a good customer that comes in, Nate, who does a lot of crazy, interesting wiring. He's got that stereo Telecaster.
Oh
and
yeah,
stereo
yeah,
strap,
yeah.
A lot of
He does some
autophase
cool stuff. Yeah.
So
He even had it separated to where like the bass strings would go to one amp and the treble strings would go to another. It was so cool. Yeah.
He makes some pretty cool stuff. But personally, I've always just kind of kept it pretty conservative, just trying to make the thing work, do its
Best
job.
you can, yeah.
So nothing too crazy, but on the cigar box stuff that I build, it could get. Then I'm just using whatever I can find, which is kind of cool.
Jerry rigged that right up.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You got to put a can opener on it.
Yeah. Got a boxify that.
You better boxify it. That cigar box. All right, Mike Kearney. What in the world do I want with a power supply that mimics a near-dead battery? What the F.A.Q? That's what he wrote. Some people like it, man. You know, I guess, for fuzz and stuff. And
yeah, like the splatty 60s fuzz thing, you get that, that dying battery thing's kind of a hard thing to simulate otherwise. I mean,
well, there's also some battery packs out there that have settings.
Yeah, like the start voltage, or even like the ISO brick from MXR. They've got like 2 different inputs that you can lower it. Either, I think it goes down to like 5 volts, and then you can go all the way up to like 12 or 15. So you can you can even experiment with ones that can take a higher voltage sometimes too. Not always the safest, but it's an option. But yeah, the dead battery thing, when somebody asks me that, first thing I think of is splatty fuzz pedals when you want them to get even more zippery and kind of splatty. Introduce some inconsistency.
So there you go, Mike.
That and then
You
they
don't-
sting
you
as
don't
much when
want
you lick
'em.
them.
Yeah. That's how you wake. It's how you wake up.
Yeah, that's about 4.5 volt. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Eric Johnson, come here. Yeah, it's fine. You're good, Eric. You're fine, buddy. We met him this year too. He's a really nice guy, by the way.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Moving on down the road, where battery's about to die. Yeah.
No.
All right, we're good. We're good. Thanks for sticking with us. Timothy Lynch. Tim's a good customer of ours that comes in the shop. Hey guys, I'm curious to hear your honest thoughts on the Vola guitars. I've heard that they are thick, fat, but that came from guys usually playing skinny, slinky shredder necks. Okay, so he's heard that they're fat necks, and he's usually the guys that are mentioning that are guys that are playing much thinner stuff. Yeah, the Volas that we have are actually pretty chunky necks. They're pretty beefy. I personally like it. A lot of folks that have tried them say that yes, they're beefy, but they're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they, well, like I said earlier, like your palm to finger ratio, I think, kind of plays in. I know it sounds weird. But like if you got big palms,
your palm to finger
probably,
ratio, bro. Yeah.
If you got big palms, they're kind of nice. It eats up some extra hand, some palmage. Old Dick Palmer. I gotta tell that story for the
This could go terribly wrong so effortlessly. Yeah,
starts
so
asking us
watch
about
your
thick and fat neck.
watch your hand to palm ratio, or finger to palm ratio, and that's
that's the key too.
that's it. But in all honesty, I think that Vola is going to be offering some thinner necks for those folks that are used to that. More skinny shredder style neck. But if you wanted to come down and check out a Vola yourself, August 11th, we're having a Vola Roadshow Extravaganza.
Power hour.
Yeah.
Actually, power several hours.
Power several hours. On August 11th, we're actually having a Vola, and the guys from Rev are coming down here to do a clinic, show off the guitars, show off some amplifiers. Robert Baker, you might have heard of him. He's a YouTube guy.
The Baker himself.
And, yep, good old Shreddy Baker.
Oh, and Mr. Wallman. Yep.
And then David Wallman, who's coming, who doesn't live too far from us here in Colorado, is actually coming down too. So the two of those guys are going to shred your face off with some Vola guitars. So, Tim, come down. Anybody else, you're also welcome to come down too if you want to hang out, meet those guys, and
personally speaking too with the Volas, I mean, I like them. I mean, normally I wouldn't have thought a neck that thick would be my thing. If like on paper, it wouldn't. But once I actually played it, it was like, wow, this is really awesome, actually.
I love them.
Yeah.
I personally like them.
Yeah, they feel great. They're not quite as, I wouldn't say they're as thick as the Texas Toast, but they're real close.
No, I think the shape is different.
Yeah, Texas Toast is a little wider, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the Volas definitely have like a really thick fender feel to them.
It's almost kind of it's almost 59 Les Paul-ish. Fat,
I can say, yeah.
But not as round.
Yes.
You know, there's a little bit of it's almost more of a U shape.
It's a softer curve.
Yeah, almost more of a U shape on it. But
yeah, whereas the Texas Toasts are more like a straight up 59.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
We'll do some stuff with those guys too as we move along.
Yeah.
So Matt, if you're watching.
Yeah, we got a question of yours in here too.
Yeah, it's
so
coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go, Tim. Thanks for the question. Next is Greg Leinhard, top selling pedal. So I guess the top selling pedals for us in the shop. I mean, definitely the J Rocket Archer Icon. That's a big one.
Really, yeah, both the Silver and Icon do. But I mean, kind of the blues guys tend to go with the Icon, and the metal rock guys tend to go with the Silver.
And then the Dude from J Rocket is also a very popular pedal. I got one of those. That's what I use. I love that pedal.
Well, I guess I should mention I do have a Silver Archer too. That was actually the first pedal I think I got from you when you were at your old shop.
Oh yeah.
Because you just got in with those. Yeah.
Oh, it's history. Oh, the history.
Full circle, right?
I remember when he was a wee bit of a lad.
Was a wee little fella.
Just a wee little fella coming in with his Barrington. Can you help me fix this?
It's about what it sounded like.
Pretty much. Totally. It's almost note for note.
Yeah.
What else is popular pedal? Well, the Demogorgon that we that's a limited edition with Stomp Underfoot. Those sell really, really well. I mean,
which makes sense since you can only get them.
You can only get them from us, so it does totally make sense.
But it's also an awesome pedal. Like once you hear it, you can't really argue with it. I mean, it's just amazing. So.
It's fairly badass.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
What else? Mini Wah from Dunlop. That's a really popular one.
Especially once people find out kind of what's under the hood on those.
Yeah.
I mean, it just took them like 60 years to make those upgrades, but sure enough, they did it.
They finally knocked it out of the park with the Fassel. Hey, Fassel. Hey, Fassel. Hey, Fassel.
Those Italian Fassels.
You got one of them Italian Fassels. So those are, so the Mini Wahs are good. Another good ones are EQ pedals. Yeah. So like 6-band and 10-band from like MXR. The EQ from Boss is another one that sells very well.
Even the tone job from Earthquaker, I mean,
Yeah, that's
still
a great
playing
job.
into the EQ thing. Just different styles of EQ.
Yeah,
Then again,
so-
we do probably kind of preach the word of EQ a good bit, but once people kind of see what you can really do with it, it kind of speaks for itself, I think.
And then going along with the Earthquaker, the Ghost Echo is
Yeah.
a great pedal. That's a house favorite. I think all of us have one.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I think we're all
Steve's
running
got
with
one.
them,
You
yeah. I've
got
got his old one. Yeah, because he had to buy another one because I bought his old one, and then. Yeah, I mean, definitely for reverbs, those are our best seller.
And what was the other one? Oh, the 385.
Oh, from Walrus, yeah.
That's a good one. And then the Flint
Yeah, from Strymon,
from
yeah.
Strymon is another one that's hard to keep in stock. The Pitchfork from Earthquaker, or not Earthquaker, Electro
Electro,
Harmonics.
yeah. For octave pedals, that one's, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
After that, yeah, I mean, obviously utility pedals like tuners and stuff always
Yeah,
go,
tuners
but
are
those
always
don't
an
really,
easy one.
yeah, I mean, they count, but they don't, they're more utility than,
They do, but they don't.
yeah,
Kind of deal.
they're
Yeah.
more function than form.
So I would say that those are some popular ones.
Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of a good, yeah, like a hit list.
yeah, I'd go with those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm feeling pretty confident in that.
Yeah. I feel like there's something else, but.
Oh, the EP Boost,
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was gonna
exotic
say,
EP
yeah.
Boost. That's another good one. That's a
Even the SL drives, actually. We've been selling a lot of those.
man.
Yeah, if you guys haven't tried that one.
if
Yeah.
you just need something like a one pedal to just bring with you as a spare, that SL drive.
Yeah, that thing
That's
is
a good
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay, so let's see. Moving on. Hey, Matt Flaherty, Texas Toast Guitars.
Told you we'd get there.
Yep. What are the guitars y'all let go away that you wish you still had? And
So it's like something you
or
sold
yeah.
off.
So what did we sell off? I don't think. Well, you go ahead.
Well, anything we've sold from here, I'm fine with it going. But
Yeah, if it was a
But yeah,
brand,
but
if
in
it
terms
was,
of my own
if it was a
personally-
brand that we let go,
yeah,
I'm
we're
glad they're gone.
Yeah, we'll survive.
That story's for another time, folks.
Oh yeah.
A couple beers at
Yeah.
the bar, and that's an easy story.
Honestly, I can't say I've ever really accumulated enough guitars to kind of do the swap like a lot of guys. Like Jock, he's constantly moving stuff, so I'm sure he'd have
Yeah.
some pretty good stories of ones he's let go, but I haven't done enough swapping to really get into that much. And honestly, if anything, working here, all the older guys that come in here that constantly tell me not to get rid of stuff that you like has kind of made me, rethink ever, selling anything. At least of the ones that are kind of your core main instruments, like my Explorer and the Barrington. And
Yeah, I think once you have I think there's certain guitars that you just kind of bond with, and then you keep them, or
Yeah.
they have a specific purpose, and you're like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting rid of that. I mean, I have a '89 Strat, which was my first real guitar that I ever saved money for. It's an '89 American Standard. First guitar I ever really saved money for. First real guitar I ever had, and I traded two crappy guitars for it. And this is way back in the day. It was an '89. I think I got it in '90, and I don't even play that guitar anymore. It's great. It's great if you need stratty tones.
yeah,
but I
it's like
really
the
don't.
Pinnacle Strat tone. I mean,
Yeah.
it has that in spades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all Strat all day. But I really don't play that guitar anymore. It's just not
Honestly, I can see the neck on that. I wouldn't think
the
would
neck,
agree with. Yeah.
right? And so right now, I mean, the one I probably play the most is my Made in Mexico Telecaster and my Reverend Flat Rock. Those are the two that
Yeah.
get the most mileage. But going back to the question, we're trailing off. Going back to the question, I don't know that I've ever really sold any. I don't think there's any guitars that I've ever sold that I wanted back or that I've missed selling. But there have been a couple amplifiers over the years that I sold that I wish I would have never. Sold. Because I had a Fender Dual Showman from a vintage one, and I had to sell it to pay the rent.
And get your Dick Dale on with those.
Yeah, I had to sell that to pay the rent years and years ago. That kind of sucked. I wish I still had that. I had that with the head and the full cabinet and everything. It was pretty.
that's pretty cool, yeah.
It was pretty badass, and I wish I still had it, just for when the neighbors pissed me off.
Yeah, just so you can have
Clean and
motor,
loud, I'm gonna kick their ass.
blast motor headed out. The
Yeah.
105 dB. Like I just assume my neighbors love it as much as I do.
You'd have to. They're not gonna come over because they think you're. Worthless.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe
They think you're worshiping Satan. So I don't know. There was any guitars that I've sold that I really didn't want back. Everything that I've ever sold, there's a fairly good reason why
You parted with it?
I partied with it. I don't really. I'm one of those guys that I don't hang on guitars for too long. I only usually keep stuff.
Yeah, you're
that,
pretty utilitarian
Yeah.
about your guitars. Like, you got to have a use for it, or you chuck it. You
Yeah,
get rid of
or
it.
I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, I don't know, frugality.
Well, function. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
Well, that and honestly, I think working here too, we want people to actually use the stuff that they're buying. So yeah, an unused instrument's kind of a sad thing. I think
It's on sad.
it's a little sad.
Little sad. Unwanted instrument island. It's with all that.
Island of misfit guitars.
Yeah. It's with a whole bunch of other.
Yeah. I know exactly
Okay.
who's populating that island.
Yeah. We know whose guitars is on that island. All right, Adam Lamar.
Oh, did we want to get to the out of production part though?
Oh,
The second
what
part of
guitars do you wish they still made that are no longer in production?
Because we could keep that one relatively quick.
Okay, that one's a tough one because they actually just started making it. I really used to like the Gibson RDs.
Yeah, that's what I would have pegged. That's what I would have thought you would have gone.
Yeah,
with.
I really
until
like
they got
those.
back
Now
in.
they're back in production. They're a couple grand or whatever, and for some reason now that they're available, like you could just buy them off the rack. I don't want it. I do want it. I
Takes
don't
yeah,
want
the specialness is gonna.
Yeah, I do want it, but I don't want it. I kind of would love to have like an old one from,
Yeah.
back in the day, not, an 80 or something, a 79 or 80 or whatever.
Yeah, for me it would probably be, I mean, still in the Gibson vein. I really love the Les Paul recording, which was like the one he developed to kind of use in the studios. It's got all like the phase switches and stuff. Just looks cool. It's kind of a different vibe for Les Paul, and generally you'll never see a Les Paul that looks like that. So I just thought it was a cool one.
Bells and whistles, man. Bells and whistles.
Yeah, funnery.
All right, so I think that's good. Let's see. Moving on. Adam Lamar, would you rather start a Doomy blues band or a bluesy doom band?
Well, I started I guess it'd be a Doomy blues. No, it'd be a bluesy doom band because it's doom blues, but we reordered the wordage.
Not your Doomy blues band.
Yeah.
I would go bluesy doom band.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. I guess technically we're less blues, more doom, but I don't know. It's doom blues somewhere in there, somewhere in the mix there.
I'd go bluesy. He'd go doomy.
Yeah.
You go bluesy.
I go doomy.
Yeah, that's where that went.
Well, bluesy doom's always good.
Bluesy doom. Name 3 pedals that you feel belong on every guitarist's pedal board. This is from Kane Kelly. Name 3 pedals that you feel belong on every guitarist's pedal board. Same for bass and synthetic players.
Synthetic players.
They're
Those
not,
GMO
those are the
players.
ones from Westworld.
Oh, yeah,
The ones on Westworld.
yeah.
They're all synthetic
The
players.
bots. Yeah.
Must have bass playing. Must
Use
tune.
synthesizer.
Must turn up guitar amplifier.
I was watching Star Trek the other night, and there was a funny part. It was a rerun, but Spock said, "Your signal's weak. You better turn up the gain." I was like, "Of course." That's
Oh,
that's exactly
We
what
should have
you did.
recorded
Yeah.
that. We need to put that into something. Okay, so let's answer the question.
Oh yeah, we should probably think
Yeah.
about that.
Plus, we're getting close on time here. Okay, so name 3 pedals you. I would say probably a tuner. I think a tuner is a great one. That way you're
In
in
tune.
tune. Not-
And you got a mute button because nobody wants to hear that.
right.
Nobody.
Nobody. Ting, ping. It's not like Grateful Dead. Oh, I love this song. They're
They're
tuning out.
exactly.
That's great. Yeah. So I would go EQ. I would go reverb. If your amplifier doesn't have reverb, I think reverb is probably a good one, or some form
Yeah.
of like a delay or something like that. If you're into delay,
Yeah, if you just need like a little room or a little ambient kind of sound, yeah, definitely modulation of some kind. Get your floaties.
yeah, fatten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
EQ.
EQ, yeah,
Someone
that,
brought that up.
yeah, that one because
before.
honestly, I think you can cover more territory with an EQ than you can any other drive pedal. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, but EQs, once people really kind of dive in with those, I think they're always surprised.
Hey, we missed this.
Yeah,
question
I
from
was gonna
Pat.
get back to that one.
All right, we'll do that one, and then we'll do Danny's question last. So, and then the last one I think would maybe be like a wah pedal, like you said. when we were
Yeah,
talking
because that's
earlier.
just something you'll never get out of an amp or a guitar. Like, it's not going to be built into it, and that's just, I mean, other, drives you can kind of, you can get away without having a drive if you got an amp that's got a lot of gain on it. But, the amp's not going to auto wall, so.
Right. And it all depends too on what you're playing. So
Yeah,
if you're
true.
a metal player or something really heavy, you're going to need a distortion. You're going to need a drive pedal or whatever the case may be. So what you need may change. You know, if you're playing country or playing funk, it may be a compressor. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, those would be kind of a must, especially for bass, honestly, especially compression. Because, I mean, that's even EQ plays into that, too, because you're always trying to find your spot in the mix. And so EQs and compressors are always going to narrow that down for you.
Yeah. So that's that. Hold on.
Do we still have time?
I don't know. I think so. It's still recording, right?
I think so.
We'll cut this out. Okay, so we had a question from Pat, which was a shorter question than his question last week. For someone in the market for a new rig, amp and or guitar bass, what do you spend more money on, the amp or the instrument? So now this is a question I've seen posed to some other YouTube guys out there, and I've disagreed with most of them because a lot of times they said, oh, I'd rather have, you know, a really great guitar because it's going to make me want to play it more. And I disagree with that. I think that if you're going to spend the money, get a good sounding amp, because there's a lot of cheap guitars out there that you can work on and fix and modify. Mm-hmm. But if you, I guess what it comes down to is that if you could have a $3,000 guitar, and if you play it through a crappy amp, it's going to sound like shit.
Yeah, which is just as, you know, unmotivating to play as the other scenario.
Right, so no matter how comfortable the guitar is.
Yeah, it's not going to make it sound better, because that's ultimately still going to be relying on the amp.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're both kind of the mind. Yeah, put the money into the amp and put your time into the guitar.
Yeah, because you could always modify the guitar. I mean, we got like a $200 Squire Jazzmaster that's on the wall over there that's really comfortable to play. I really like the guitar. I actually want to take one.
Fondles it often.
Yes, I do. I like it. But I would probably change out the pickups and put in better wiring. Mm-hmm. But if I'm playing that through a good amp, I'm getting that good ampness.
Which we've already done, yeah. Because I mean, the thing came in, we tuned it up, it got it going pretty good, and it actually sounds really great as is.
We threw it through one of the Dr. Z's, and it sounded pretty killer.
Yeah.
And we're like, for $200, what an awesome deal.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, I would say put more money into the amplifier and make sure you have a really good sound there, because the guitar you can always fix, modify, and there's a lot of good pawn shop specials out there that you could buy for relatively cheap and come away with a decent instrument once you do some work with it and work on it. And like he said,
well, yeah, don't undervalue the benefit of actually working on it, because then you're going to pick up all those skills trying to fix it, and those are all things that are going to help you pretty much forever as long as you're playing. So I mean, like I said, yeah, money in the amp, time in the guitar. I think that equals out to a better equation.
That's the way I would go.
Yeah,
that's the way I would go. I would buy a better amp because.
And then you could buy the one amp and have that forever, and that's your consistent kind of platform. Whereas guitars, like he said earlier, for different purposes, you might have totally different guitars for different genres. Yep. But if you got a good amp, you got a good amp, and you only got to buy it the one time.
That's my answer. Contrary to some other folks on the YouTube
interwebs,
the YouTubeosphere. All right, and then the last question, Danny Spang. What's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Well, where's it? I missed it.
You missed his cue.
Well, no, I was trying to get, because unladen would be no coconut.
Huh? Or I thought, what was the...
Wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Because, I think that's the way they play it out, is what would the velocity of the swallow be with the coconut and without the coconut?
Well, I thought you had to figure out, where the husk, you can grab it by the husk. It's not on there where it grips it. A 5-ounce bird can't carry a 1-pound coconut.
Well, it could be an African swallow.
Oh, it could be an African swallow.
Or what if two swallows carried it together? That could work.
Yeah, Danny. So there you go. There's your answer. A 5-pound bird.
I gotta look up the word unladen now, because I feel like that unburdened is what I feel like that. A non-coconut carrying swallow.
We might have to. We could tell you guys for the next one.
Yeah, we'll clear up unladen.
Yeah. So I think that's it. So thank you for suffering through this Q&A. What the F.A.Q. number 2 for next week.
Comment section.
Put your questions in the comment section down below, and next week we'll just come up with some stuff and answer some things for you guys. So ask us any questions about gear, life, anything in general. No religion, no politics. We're just not having it.
Yeah.
Because that starts
Nobody
fights.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. Yeah. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us for what is probably like a half hour or so of your time. Nobody's listening.
They're just gonna leave it on in the background.
Well, by this time they're not even paying attention. People have already turned us off. So anyway, thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and sticking with us. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side.
You're on the Dr. Phil show. A problem is that you're into yourself, that you flirt with girls, that you're not plugged into your marriage. You're in the green room hitting on my staff. What the hell are you